Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising to the morning show with Empress Ella G and her sidekick Bucket Boy, perpetual guest Lance Scurv. We fixed the sound, we fixed the music. It's going to get better. Let us know in the chat room how it sounds. We're glad to be here. I got a good night's rest. I slept longer than I ever did before, and that's not too long because I always sleep short. Empress Ella G, how are you doing this Grand Rising? How are you doing? You
Grand rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, everybody.
Transylvania now. Look at the Grand Rising. Grand Rising.
I'm Transylvania Ella.
We're back on track, and everything is moving according to plan, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm kind of sad to, have a story like this, but there's some lessons that we all need to learn in that. But tell me how you're doing, and just go ahead and do your roll call because
do my roll call.
Beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. I am doing well. Thank you very much. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Real accent.
My real accent. Yes, indeed. I had a good night's sleep also. We didn't do a show last night. Brother Lance was like zonked. He did some runs yesterday.
I had to take a tap.
We actually were going to do a show, and when I saw a certain time come up, actually it was like 12 hours ago to be exact, and I was like, changed your mind? And he's like, oh my God, I'm so done. I was like, no problem.
I hate to admit that, and like I said, for the sake of making a new rhythm, to be able to do more, I took that little bit of rest because if I did something last night, I would have woke up again, and it would have been a domino effect all week, which, I'm going to make up for not doing one last night. Trust and believe. I'm going to make up for that. But,
listen, trust and know. you will be making up.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
You know,
indeed.
yeah, so we're on track,
Yeah.
and sometimes in a boxing match you have to rest and give away almost that one round while the
Yeah.
opponent flails away and says, "Yeah, that round, I won that round," but you know what you're having to
Right.
take for the rest of the fight. You're going to get it because the second win is coming. So
Exactly. Let me just say a quick hello before it gets
of
out of
course,
control,
I
and
know,
then
right?
I cannot do it. Grand rising to you, truly yours, whatever.
Just say before you go into that accent is making me think that you're that lady at the five and dime store whose accent we can't figure out, and she has this really starchy looking hairstyle. I mean, like not a black woman, right? One of them talking like that kind of woman, right? And she has the glasses that look like the little cat rim glasses,
I do
whatever.
have a little Catherine glasses on this morning
And the
too.
on the side, they got them little 3 or 4 diamonds or glass in there, and
I
then they got
need
a
to do
chain.
that.
Yeah, they got a chain hanging down around the neck, like, and they always chewing gum, but they're not chewing it and popping it. And she's always sitting down, and you know what? She's always sitting down behind the counter, and when she gets up to stand up, it freaks you out. You know why? Because she's taller sitting down than she's standing up. When she stands up, she gets shorter. Like, what the hell? Excuse me, my darling, I'm going to use the restroom. Like, I'm
I
short
am that gypsy woman.
with big boobies that got freckles on them.
Yes, that's me. That's me.
You
I'm
know I'm
taller
stupid. Go
when
ahead
I
and do your
sit
thing before
down.
it goes out of hand.
I'm taller when I sit. Anyways, hi, Mr. Apex. Hi, Queen Murat. How you doing? Hello, Dogface. I'm not sure I'm liking that name, but hey, it's yours. Hi, how you doing? Khadija, hello. Synovia, hello, my love. Synovia, you need to email me because Raw Reality is waiting for your
Yes,
email
yes.
address. So send me that email, lance@lancecurve.com, and I will, share it between the both of you. Let's see. Hello, Indigo King. I hope all is well. I hope your wife is feeling a little better this morning. Still sending out my condolences to her, my dear. Hello, Superman Heru. How are you? Oh God, my thing just scrolled up. Hello, Eileen. Hello, Eric Y. Hello, Sunkiss Felicia Edwards. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Dallas Lizard. Oh dear. Oh God. Hello, Tina White. Let's see. Funny scripts. Salute. Salute, salute. Um, who else? Reginald Scott, Grand Rising, my brother. Funny scripts. Did I say you before? I don't remember. Who said hi? I said, hello, love. How are you? I have to get used to that name. Um, let's see. Tatum Terrell, Grand Rising. Tanya Kane, Grand Rising, and I believe that is all for now. Although we have 53 people watching, file on in, folks, and say hello.
Yes.
Hit the
And
like button as you
there'll
come
be
in.
an occasional bit of noise in the background because
We're fine, Brother Lance. We don't
and
hear it if you don't say it.
yeah, I have to apologize for the typo in the banner that freaked
Where
me
did
out.
I? Let's
And how
see.
I spell her name, Moore, is only one.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 R's in one thing. So trust me, it will pop in soon, corrected during the show.
oh,
You
it
know,
did. It
yeah.
did.
So
Uh,
yeah. I kind of
it's
messed up.
Morr, not
Yes,
MOOR,
yes.
correct? Okay. Yeah.
The
All
Moors
right.
will be happy when they see that. Like, yeah, trust me, it's
Mercedes
not
Black.
right. So this is not really a joking matter, but we're going to segue into other points. But I do want to talk about
Yes.
this, and
Yes.
I'm going to shoot this out,
Hi,
and
Misha.
let's talk a little more while I shoot
Yeah,
this out.
I Donatane or donation. I'm sure I don't know exactly how you're pronouncing it, but hello, hello. How are you? No problem, sis. Just remember to send it to me. Um,
Yes.
I had someone by the name of Yvonne something said, could you please send a link? And if you're listening to the show, I'm not sure what link you're referring to. And it's not, I don't know if it's our regular Yvonne that comes in, but if you're listening, please, I emailed you back. So please send us the information that you're looking for. I don't believe it was she murdered. Nova G is saying that she don't believe it was her that was murdered.
Really? That it was someone else?
I don't know.
Just asking. I mean, do you think it was? I mean, okay. I mean, they claim to have the body. You know what I mean?
Right. Grand
They
Rising
claim
Bryce.
her. Yeah,
Yeah. So who would it be?
I know, and that's something that we need to
We
discuss
need to
also.
discuss
And we'll do
exactly.
a follow up on that too. So it won't be something that going down with. And again, I never try to be. I'm not saying this sarcastically. I'm just saying that when we get these stories, sometimes they change because they get the information wrong. So we're not trying to be like a reporter or anything, but we get what we get, and then maybe 2 or 3 hours later, something else comes out, and then when the show goes up,
Oh,
it
but
makes
they
us.
did spell. Oh, okay. So different
Yeah.
people spelled her name wrong. Because some
Oh,
people
okay,
spelled it More, Moore,
okay. Phonetically, they
Morr.
went yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So they went in
it's
phonetically. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's going to happen.
It's
Even that.
her. She was
Yeah,
33.
yeah. And people understand like those things happen. The phonetic thing happens. So, that's kind of where I got it from. I was like, okay, that's a name. Okay, cool. But, those things happen. So, needless to say, let me start out. Let me just hit one more button here. So as I talk or as you talk, I'll slip in there and kind of put it out there because I want people to get this early,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm kind of pausing like this. All right, here
No
we go.
problem. That's
We're
fine.
good. We're good. Okay, let's see what pops up. I'll wait a little while just to go through. Anyway, I'm gonna read something, okay? And I have it saved on, well, I'll just read the article. And again, we're just trying to show the facts from now of what's going on. I'm gonna post this on the website, but it's gonna be a different article than what we read now. Now, this one was like out from like 12 hours ago. The other article I have was maybe 2 hours ago. But then with these news platforms, they don't know. They don't follow Instagram like that. They don't know. The fans know better, Okay, this is in Houston, right? And it says Instagram model is dead after an apparent murder suicide in Richmond, Fort Bend, authorities said Monday. The body of 33-year-old Janae Gagnia, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, better known by her social media name of Miss Mercedes Morr, was discovered at her home in the Cortland Apartments in the 5200 block of Port West Circle at approximately 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, Richmond police said in a news release. Her Instagram account has 2.6 million followers. I'm quite sure it's going to go up over 3, according to the court on Monday. Followers include some high-profile individuals like Megan Thee Stallion and Snoop Dogg. The body of a man who is believed to be the suspect in Gagnia's killing was also located in the residence. The man has been identified as 34-year-old Kevin Alexander Ocorto with an address in Florida. And he doesn't appear to be a black man. Looks like he's like kind of Middle Eastern or something. I don't know. Maybe he could be Latin or whatever. But he's definitely not a black man. He could be. We're coming all shades with the photo that I saw, which I didn't want to mess up this banner with a photo of him. Like that's the final thing. And I just have the pictures up of her because I made that this morning. At this point in the investigation, police say they do not believe there is a relationship between the suspect and the victim. The cause of death for both individuals is pending autopsy results from the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner. At this point, police said this is being considered a murder-suicide. There is an ongoing investigation to determine a motive in the case. Neighbors learning about the incident responded Monday. What I thought was safe, it seems not. We have so many rules and so many guidelines. I would never expect someone to breach our security and someone to be murdered on this property, said Roderick Shaw. It's safe over here. We have the gates, the fence. You got to have a code to get in and a code to get out. I'm just in shock, said Edna Swist. Now there's comment sections below and people are sharing their condolences and, all of this different, a couple of smart aleck, is always going to do. Look at this. I guess Donald Trump would be the exception to the rule. What kind of mess is that? There's always somebody. So, I'll just have to say in addition to that, whenever you do have any kind of presence on social media, no matter what amount of followers you have, you just have disgruntled, unhealthy people, unhappy people that take the energy to say something stupid when regardless how you feel about Instagram models, you don't take anybody's life. Regardless of how you feel about somebody in the LGBTQ community, you don't take their life. Regardless, you don't, unless you're defending yourself. You're defending your life or someone else's life. You see what I mean? So
right.
I'm not down with murder. I'm not down with that. But if somebody's coming up on you that way, you got to protect yourself. And then I'm down with that. I'm down with that to preserve life. Because, see, I didn't give anybody life. I don't have the right to take it. But if you're trying to take mine, I have the right to maintain it.
Right,
I'm not going to sit there passive and, well, they said do not kill, and you killing me. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that was the case in this story. We don't know. They're classifying it as a murder-suicide. So I'm saying it this way so that when somebody, or maybe later on, it turns out to be something other than that, aha, you're wrong, Lance. You're wrong, Scurv. You're sitting out there putting false information. That's what they classified it as until further investigation. So I'm not wrong. I'm only echoing what the police and the authorities who are all in it, what they said. So,
right. And the title says apparent. That's
apparent,
what it appears to be.
Yes.
And
there are folks out there that don't read that's going to say the same thing. They can catch me in a typo if that's the way it is. That's okay. I admitted that. But the main gist of the story is this, right? So I'll say my feelings on it. You'll say your feelings on it. You want to go first, or
No, you go first since you read it. Go ahead.
Oh, don't get me to start ranting here. No, I'm not
You're not going to rant.
Like I said, yes. Okay, the things that are associated with those who are Instagram, the things they do to achieve the look that they have, right? Now, I'm going to say some things that have nothing to do with Miss Mercedes Morr. Okay, because I did a little background research, and she is so loved. She's probably like one of the original. Yeah. I mean, she's 34 years old. How long has Instagram been around?
Right.
Really, how long? I couldn't even tell you, but it was like what, 2010, maybe 2012. I don't know. If it's 10 years, then good, right? Whatever it is, right? If it's 10 years old, she was 24. Right. If it's 22, if it's 12 years old, she was 22.
Right.
So she came in right in the beginning, whatever it is, and she has all of these followers, right?
Right.
And we know that, and again, these things I'm about to say now, this is segueing away from her, but we're using her as an example to speak about the industry overall. Right now. Yes. They knew her as a sweetheart. From my research, everybody she came in contact with, large or small, really loved her. She treated them nice. She didn't have an attitude. If you approached her with respect, she would respond. There are a lot of them that are out there. There are even a lot of YouTubers that are out there that you can't approach them. And maybe if she has to hurry up and go somewhere, I never heard a story, and I heard other people say that who knew her, who were around her. She was just a sweet, loving person. So I got to give the props that way. She was not the typical, stereotypical Instagram model who's like so far into themselves, but she is into herself to keep herself up. Now, I'm going to split from her right now. So what I'm saying is not a derogatory thing. So I don't know how much surgery she had done. I don't know. She's a sweetheart. She was into this. It doesn't mean that anything that she did that may have been a little wayward or destructive, I wouldn't chastise. But I don't know, so I'm not going in. I'm making it very clear because later on in the show, somebody's going to pop in the middle of the video. Oh, man, you're putting it down. Matter of fact, I'm not putting any of them down. I just wish now at this point, I'm talking about Instagram models in general. Right. Okay. And what it has become. It has become another pathway into prostitution. Not all Instagram models are prostitutes. And again, this is not about Miss Mercedes Morr, but there are a lot of them who they go on OnlyFans, they're Instagram models. They get their money from showing a larger than life body, right? which oftentimes looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't tell me, and I'm going back in the hood to come right back out. They kind of have accepted that she had butt work done, right?
Yeah.
And I can see that. But the hips, I don't know. I don't know how much, but I'm saying it to say this. Aside from the lust factor, she's a beautiful young girl. Oh, I say young because of me. I got like 24 years on her, you see? And you never know when you'll be taken out of here. I don't mean a murder, but we never know when you pass away, a transition. And that's another little mini lesson in that for people who think, oh, yes, when I get to be 70, when I get to be 80, I don't say that. I'd like to. I say, if the Creator affords me the time to be here, I want to continue doing what I'm doing to help people stimulate and motivate. If my job is done, I accept it. But regardless as to how much work she has done, she's already a beautiful woman, okay? Without the lust factor, all right? Because a lot of men, they look at women and they say or think, or a lot of them say, oh man, I love her. But you're lusting. It's just that, and a lot of men can't differentiate behind that. So a lot of these women who want to get the hits and the followers and the offers for photo shoots and magazine covers, a lot of them come from different backgrounds. A lot of these women are not all whores. A lot of them are not saints. Right? A lot of them don't do anything other than pose or do OnlyFans or do Instagram. They have cash apps. A lot of men like to throw money at them. Hey, please call me, block your number, whatever. I want to hear from you. And there's different degrees of that because I know personally a lot of women who have their phone services, if you know what I mean, where you can speak to them in the middle of the night with their sexy voice, and whatever you're doing with your jar of Vaseline, that's on you. So you get the gist of what I'm saying. There are different ways to segue. You could do the live streams and the private cams and with the OnlyFans. And I heard that she did do OnlyFans stuff. I don't know if she did it with other people or she did it where she was manipulating herself. There's different ways of doing this. And I don't mean to sound gaudy, but I'm just laying the groundwork for what I say later on. Okay. Now, there's another aspect of this. And again, I don't know if she did this, but let's just talk overall. She did something, she didn't do anything to deserve to get murdered, if that's the case. But she's in this thing and she's been in it for a while. And we know there are young ladies coming off the assembly line in a natural way that are looking to go higher and bigger and better. Right. And it can be very destructive. And I will say that a lot of these young ladies are risking their lives to get that the implants and they get concrete put in their backside and it moves and shifts. Look, and I'm going to say this, and this is nothing that I'm privy to that is private, but I can repeat it because I have a video when he did a speech in Tampa. The Honorable Minister Akbar Muhammad, who's the second in command of the Nation of Islam. I was out there through Brother Malik and Brother Isa Muhammad, and they had me come out to video, and I spoke a little bit toward the end. But publicly, he said this, because when he started to say this, I interrupted him. I said, do you want me to record this? He said, no, brother, I want you to record this. And he touched on it, that his niece went down to South America, either to South America, somewhere in South America, or Dominican Republic, different countries in South America do the same butt implants and surgeries on the face and all of that stuff, just like when you can go to Cuba and get cheaper dental work done. Doctors in America, they do it, but they charge a whole lot more. Right. So a lot of these Instagram models will go out of the country to get their work done, and they can get it cheaper, but lots of times it's a risk, right? Now there's another rumor going around about her that I don't know, and it will come out, that she was also sick. That when she went down to get a last surgery, I don't know where it was on her body, but they say that she caught the monster. Really? That begins with H. Yeah. That's a rumor. I can't say that it's true, but that's one of the things that I constantly heard. And they say that she was in the hospital for a good long time.
That begins with what? H?
Well, I said H, and I didn't want to say the I.
Okay.
Yeah. Because YouTube. Anybody else, they smack on that on the wrist, and they'll shoot my channel down for a week just because I said something wrong.
Yeah,
so I got to be shrewd to walk amongst the guardrails, but we're intelligent here, and I have to commend everybody here in the chat room. Again, I'm gonna always say it until my head turns blue, that we have one of the most intelligent, drama-free chat rooms here. That there's a troll that'll fly in every now and then. You have the window open and you're cooking good food, there's gonna be a fly that flies in, right?
Right.
Or you steamroll, and that's what we do. So I'm just loving the vibe here that we can express ourselves, and I'm always going to be respectful, unless you're disrespectful and I disrespect you back 3 times over or 10 times over. But back to that, they go out of the country and they get this work done, and the conditions may not always be sanitary.
Exactly.
And they that chance. I'm not saying it's some dirty back room with a dirt floor and one light bulb and a bunch of burly people around and these knives at the, but is it really sanitary? And America's not the only place where you can get stuff done. But another aspect of it is that a lot of these young ladies who want the extreme. I saw one. Where was this? This was in it was in Orlando or Atlanta. I was in some airport, and this chick, she wasn't even black. She had a butt that each cheek was like a basketball, y'all. And she couldn't have been more than 120 pounds. It didn't even, I'm not saying, oh yeah, look, I know what a good butt looks like. Most people know what a good butt looks like. Come on, y'all. Whether I'm not saying the women who know it, you'll know it. Oh, she got a nice shape. You'll know it.
Right, of course.
So it wasn't a lust factor, and it's just like, that don't even look right. And I was going to run up on her and ask if I could take a picture. And she maybe said, oh yeah, sure, no problem. I didn't want to get the pervert treatment because it was even bigger than basketballs, y'all. But imagine olive oil of Popeye and olive oil, the Sailor Man, and olive oil put 2 basketballs behind her. And her legs were so skinny. And it didn't look right. You see, when you do this, if you do this, keep things in proportion.
That's right.
You enhance. It's like makeup with women. You don't paint a whole face on looking like Spider-Man, only if you're in front of the stage lights. But just do a little bit to enhance what you have, or hide some things in the skin, or pimples, or discolorations, whatever have you. But the insecurity that many of these young ladies have goes overboard, and I'm just telling you, it's driven by something.
Yes, indeed.
It's definitely driven by insecurity. Or some type of self-hate. I'm not judging, but we see things that are larger than life. Look at what's her name, Tamia Braxton. I wish I had a picture. And I'm gonna start flashing different things when I get this piece of equipment, running during our shows, and load it up so we can see things, right? But there was a recent posting of her face, and it was obvious that she got extreme plastic surgery. Her face is looking bizarre.
Distorted.
Remember the old white lady they called the Catwoman? That had all the plastic surgery. Now, I'm not saying it's that bad, but it's going toward that. It's 25% there.
You ask yourself why exactly. Who is she trying to hide from? I mean, what did she do in her life that makes her hate the way she looks right now?
And again, for those who are coming in, we're speaking about Instagram models in general. We spoke about the facts of Miss Mercedes Morr. So we're not trying to attach these things onto her. I don't know what she did otherwise to make money, which she did things up front, but there's sometimes a darker world because, with that, we're talking about the spiritual stuff. Like, okay, let's just take other Instagram models, not all, but some, but too much, that do use the online thing for prostitution, right?
Right.
That do use that as a way, because prostitution is booming, but you're not going to see it on the street as much like it used to be in your various cities and towns.
Right.
Go back to the late 70s, what I remember, and I could remember things from before, but in the late 70s and before crack hit, it was like a crowded street on the west side of Manhattan. I mean, and it even got down to the point where the blocks became organized. There was one street, I think it was, well, how do you know? We used to go out there. I don't buy prostitutes, but we drive around and look at them, the testosterone is hitting us. And I say, oh, look at her. Oh my God. And they walking around all in front of the car, the headlights. And you just like, man, this is sex world down here. You know what I mean? So, we'd hang out in Manhattan, but before we left, We'd always zigzag up them blocks to get an eyeful. Lots of times we zigzag back. It was a circus. In Manhattan, you'll never see anything like that before. I remember this, 14 or 15 years old. You know, a couple of my friends were older than me and they drove. So I always hung out with older fellas, you know? So they drive and we'd go around and, oh, look at this one, look at that one. But those things, don't think it's cleaned up. It's pushed doors. Right. And one thing I will say, if it's just the visuals, it's a lot safer. Exactly. I'm not going to say it's good or it's bad, but at least there's no contact. But there are some who take it to the level of contact. And maybe you haven't heard. Let's talk about the more extreme practices on Instagram of what happens. For those women who are actually prostituting themselves and everything between, because it may not be where they're just prostituting. They still may have an OnlyFans page, or they may take little donations. And guys they're like, oh, I love you. Call me. Oh, you called me? Boom. I'm going to hit you off at $500, $100, whatever it is. So, and some of the Instagram models are trying to bust into legit areas, which there's a whole lot of them trying to do that.
Right.
And the looks are fleeting, and it's very competitive. It's not like you can get up there and it's the Instagram model championship and we have a scoring system and she's the champion and she's going to keep defending. In the back of your mind, they're gunning for what you give and they're diluting, because we know that, like, after a while, I've been with her already. I don't want her anymore. You know, I mean, they do it in their own marriages and their own relationships. Right. So now this is very stimulating. There's no loyalty when you're a fan or a customer of one of these Instagram models, because it's like, oh, I saw this other picture. And that's the way it is. You're never satisfied. You're never satisfied. And mind you, you have men that do the same thing, too. So I'm not ragging the women, but what we hear in our community is mostly about these women. There are gay dudes out there and bisexual dudes out there, and some guys that claim to be straight, but they do things for money. You know what I mean? So it's there. Maybe we'll talk about that one day. But this is what freaked me out. Instagram models and Dubai. Let's just pick on Dubai.
Wow. Yes, for real.
For hands, who here knows what happens when Instagram models, not in their own peg or their own, you know, they go to Dubai. Please, I want to know who knows this already.
Please.
Just, put a hand up or say yes or no. Let's give it a little second here to get this going. I really want to,
hit the like button, guys. While you're putting your hand up, hit the like button.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we spoke about today. Yeah, Kevin Accordo. Yeah, we mentioned his name and earlier on. So if you missed it, we did all the facts. We read the article and we put it out there up until this time. Why you hit yes or no? Oh yeah, okay. So you already know. He said Doodoo Brown. I'm gonna say it. Yes, still I rise. Yeah, okay. You know the feces connection, like the movie The French Connection, with the feces connection. They will go over there. They'll have these dudes reach out to them and send them a good amount of money. Like, okay, here's for you. I got your plane ticket. I'm giving you this several $1,000s, so you know this is no joke. And I'm flying you out here. And you really got to be kind of bold to do that. You really have to be bold to fly to another country where you know they're interested in you for sex. Because if somebody can snatch you up at the airport and you're in a different country, you're going to stand out. I don't care how much sweats and little things no makeup and pull your hair back and put a cap on. They know.
Right.
They know. It's like the women who used to work in the peep shows in Midtown Manhattan, 42nd Street, 8th Avenue, Show World, and all those places, Peepland, Legals. Damn, Lance, you naming out all the places. Yeah, we all used to hang out in them places, right? And they would take off the garter belts, and they ain't gonna walk out the street like that. The heels, the hair, the big hair, might be a wig, might be the hair. Take off the makeup and put on extreme sweats and put a cap on. They have a bag with the other stuff in it. They put their head down and they walk through the crowd and walk out. Like we know, we already know you're trying to hide. It's okay. But you go to this next country, maybe an Arab country. Lots of times it is Dubai. Because, Dubai is like supposed to be the most spectacular Las Vegas in the world, but it has no soul from what I'm hearing. It's built up for that, but it's like nobody really wants to live there. You live there and you're in and out. You know, and those who live there catch hell because if they have to depend on working there, they go through extreme, like bad boss and super. You gotta, people who work there, you ask them. From what I'm hearing, I don't know. I've never been there. Now I don't want to go there, right? But the women who go there already agreed. I don't know the price of what they walk away from, but I heard approximately after everything, the ticket, the little money they give you, like the Ford money, you're walking away with $40,000 at least.
Not enough for me to let them do what they do.
Exactly. So now when you go there, you might not be the only Instagram model there. It might be 4 or 5 or 2 or whatever. And so you might even know them. Like, oh, I never, hey girl, so and so. And you know what you're in for. They're gonna say you take 10 men, 15 men.
No, can
and they will begin to have sex with you. They'll have you service them. They may want to do you back because you are who you say you are, and they want to know that they kind of tasted you. You know what I mean? Now, if you can't handle it, this is the morning time. While they're having sex with them, another man might come over and urinate on you. This is the crazy thing, right? It's the crazy thing. Then they turn around and they want to take a dump on you. And then the next man will get on and have sex with you. Like, I'm going to have sex with a woman with another man crapped on? So I'm into, oh yeah, his feces is all over me. So these dudes are sick in every various ways. Every orifice is utilized for the most part. Your anus, your vagina, your mouth, maybe your ear, your nose, if it's big enough, right? And they feet, the feet, and no, you ain't, okay, I did this with you, I'm getting up and, well, no, you got to stay there until all of us are done doing it with you. So what about if there are 15 men and 8 of them had you already and dumped on you? That's
Christ. Oh God.
I'm not going to say the Christian vernacular, but that's demonic. That's not even sex. You so hungry. I'm not saying Miss Mercedes Morr. This is talking about Instagram models overall, and not all of them, but a whole lot of them.
And a lot of Hollywood, Hollywood people too. It's not Instagram models.
Oh, you get right, but I'm saying as an Instagram model, you don't have to go. You're gonna get offers over here. You're gonna get people who have money. I'm not gonna say they all want to crap on you. You have the older guys who see that father time is not on their side, and they say, you know what? I know she doesn't love me. Let me make an offer. I'm worth $3 million. I'm worth $5 million. You got a lot of regular looking dudes out here who are worth that kind of money, who did everything right, but they never got the attention they wanted, never had what they think they want. They're tired of surfing porn. And they're like, listen, you can do what you want to do. Don't bring me no diseases or shame, but I want to marry you. I want you to be my wife. I'll make sure you have, at least you can still go make your money, but you're always going to be in a late model vehicle. I'm going to always keep you in a nice looking house. Just be with me. And a lot of these women that are getting older, they're like, you know what? He's not a bad looking guy. I don't know why he'd want to marry me just on looks, but it's not guaranteed that I'm going to maintain this lifestyle. And again, please don't think that these women out here, they may pose in front of luxury cars. They may have a night in some extreme luxury hotel. You don't think they're not going to take pictures in those hallways and in those bedrooms, and you think they're the ones paying for it, which keeps their image up, which keeps where or what you have to pay. Like, well, I'm used to going, and they can lie to you and say, I'm used to going here to Dubai, but when you went, you had doodle all over you. You know what I mean? I'm used to this and that. It may be some next person's car that they let you drive and videotape. Yeah, they'll keep it going just to get sex with you, or just to be seen with you. There are a lot of men out here that don't want sex. They just want to walk through the door, in some function where they know their ex-wife is going to be, and just you be there and act like, the trophy girlfriend, and she may not know, like, wait a second, how did he pull that? I know I'm getting most of his money. And yes, and when we go in, I just want you to be all over me. And a couple of times I'm going to have to push you away, like, but make me look irresistible.
Right.
Over there mad because they don't know what he got going on between his legs. It might be a peanut, you know what I mean? But she's acting like, So you never know. It's like these women are available for whatever because it's all about money, but it's driven to me by extreme insecurity that they have to make up for something. They don't see themselves the way they really are. I've seen some extremely beautiful women out here in Ghana who don't have a clue how beautiful they are. Not that if they knew they would get the attitude, but if they got around and realized what they had, I mean, they might go to America and the guys say, God dog, I've seen natural, and it's not about just the backside, but we know that's the first thing they go and get done, even when they have a nice backside. I've seen some backsides out here that you cannot get being under the knife, that just come from eating good food, walking up the side of a mountain, from birth, from when you could first walk, and you are built like this. And it's so part of you that it ain't gonna shake. I've seen women in their 60s and in their 70s that when they turned around, their face looked younger than their age, but you can tell like this lady ain't 25 years old. How she built like that? Yeah. Even the dudes. You see what I mean? So why do you have to go on this larger than life thing? And this tells me something about society in general. And this goes back to maybe a theory, maybe a thought that I had. I said, you know what? This is definitely a plastic generation. The last few generations. Why do I say that?
Genetics.
Yeah, but the first thing we get, unless we get breastfed, is a bottle shoved in our mouth. Women at night that may find themselves a little lonely use that plastic toy. We drink out of plastic cups. Everything is plastic. Even the money is going away and it's plastic right now. Okay. So it's almost like we're disconnected. And of course, from birth, if you're disconnected from the breast, you can't vibe all the way. That's just what it is. Right. You can get there, but it's going to take a lot of you, some deep meditation to keep that natural connection to nature. Whether it's walking out and putting your feet in the dirt every day up under the sun, reach for that connection. I think a lot of us are just so disconnected from who we really are. And certain things just don't matter. But anybody, male and female, because males get a lot of plastic surgery too. But if we were more secure in who we are, what ideal are you trying to live down to, or some people say up to? It's all in your head. Why would you go? And you got to save money, right? So they go down to these places, like I said, in other countries where they can get it done cheaper. But so many people have died. Like I said, Minister Akbar Muhammad's niece died on the table getting her butt done. And he said he would not hold that back. He's not knocking her. It hurt him so bad. It made him think, like, why would she do this? He knew her upbringing, but this thing out in the world, these negative forces that tell you that you're not beautiful and you need to do these things, that's a lie. And I just wish that we get back to our natural beauty.
Hollywood. That's
exactly. I wish we would get back to our natural beauty and appreciating that, because nobody's perfect. You see, nobody's perfect. I mean, we can find flaw with what appears to be perfect. And if you appear to be perfect, you ain't going to stay that way too long.
But yeah, go ahead. Look. You said, you wish they would appreciate their bodies the way it is. But at the end of the day, look at how you described some of the women in, over there in Ghana with these lovely rounded backsides. Not everybody is going to have a lovely rounded backside. You know what I'm saying? And this is where insecurity comes from for a lot of young people and older women. Because they want that lovely rounded backside that men seem to speak about so freely and frequently. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And so they will go to any ends. Look at her. She was going for a lovely rounded backside, but clearly it doesn't match with the rest of her body.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't have any real hips. It's it's a protrusion of what they tried to create in a backside that has given her the look of a hip.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So it's unfortunate, but once again, a lot of these people are not doing these things for themselves. They lie to themselves and say, I'm doing this for me because this is what I want to do. That's bullshit. They're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it so that the men can oogle-eye them or Google-eye them or however you want to say it, and can tell them how fabulous they look and just make them feel good about themselves, because they don't feel good about themselves.
That's right.
They don't naturally come with what the societal man is looking for.
Yes, indeed. But here's another angle, because I look for angles, you know. Oh, I also want to say, let me get back to the screen.
God.
Sister Shayla Warner, you're on Facebook. So
Okay.
Facebook is usually a ghost town when I have my shows. It never caught on with me. So if you want to vibe with the rest of the chat room, you can come over to youtube.com/Lance Scurv. And you'll be in the chat room with everybody. But I have 2 other YouTube channels, but it has to be Lance Scurv.
Right.
And you'll end up here with the rest of the chat room in the future. But if you say something and nobody responds, if there's nobody over there, it's not because we're ignoring you. It's because they can't see you, because they're on YouTube. You're on Facebook. But I'm glad that you're here anyway. And you have a very beautiful avatar, and I like that hair.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
Yeah. So
come on over so we can see you, sis. Come on over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at that. Ice-T's wife. Yeah. I mean, but okay, this is the question I have for the men. When it comes to a woman's natural beauty, let's talk the love thing first. Because when you really love a woman, and it sounds corny, but it means something when you come down off the roller coaster ride of youth and you become that old player, if you're that.
Right.
Beauty will fade on a physical level. This stuff is going to drop on a physical level. We know that. But see, a lot of these men ain't thinking about nothing long term. It's just for right now. Oh, for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe a year or two, and then I'll run with the next one. You never get satisfied in your approach to a woman on this level that I'm hating. Because who wouldn't like a sexy, beautiful body next to them? But you got to bring something to the pot too. But it shouldn't be just about that.
Sexy, beautiful body is relative.
No, but look, it's relative if that's the only gear you're moving on. If you're only moving on that quick satisfaction, larger than life lust gear, it's not love.
No.
It's just appealing to the eye and the lower chakras, right? And people say, yeah, Lance, if you were single and that jumped up on you, you'd be glad. No, you know why? Because it ain't real.
Right.
Look, I don't want to start saying funny words and whatnot. Give me a real ass that don't look that round. I've seen some skinny women, they lay in the bed face down. I was like, God, dog, that thing expanded. And let's now, right. See, now you got me there, right? Now I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? You know, the Rocky movement is like, is that all you got? Is that all you got? Huh? And he starts taking blows on purpose and hit the guy back. Now, verbally, I'm like this right now. I'm in this mood, and I think y'all like that when I get pissed off.
Go there.
Give me a sister who got half the meat on her butt cheeks, but is so well shaped. Don't give me these 2 fake balloons, because I can't lust after something that's not real when I'm in that lower level combined with the love thing. Right. Because if I let the dog out and it's just a lust thing, I'm with you now and I'm with somebody else tomorrow night and I'm looking at that next girl in the mall. I might even be having sex with you, thinking about the butt that I saw in the mall.
True, so because that's what's getting you off. It's not the person that's on the bed.
Right. Yeah. So you're going to get attention from men. They might not even know you 10 years from now. They ain't thinking about you. It's your butt. But how can you get attracted to something? Look, give me some titties that go down to the knee, that hang down to the knee. Give me them cross-eyed breasts with the nipples looking inside or outside, whatever. And it's real, because this is real. This is you.
Yes, indeed.
Get down on my knees and suck a titty like that, but you know what? It's real. It's real.
Brother Lance, you're always the exception to the rule when we have these conversations and these shows.
Yeah, because I have a lot of experience. Instagram models weren't around in my day, right? But they were models. They were strippers. I know. Look, I used to be a stripper. I know they used to have them there and, oh, Lance, come on, let's go hang out, whatever. And they looking at me like, why ain't you on me like that? Not that I hated it, but I really am, and I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I'm not just, I know you want this. I'm like, you sit there, and I may not want it. I don't want just friction. Even if it's a one stand that I've been through, I want to still have some kind of daggone connection.
Exactly, I agree.
Why don't you go hump on a mannequin? And I'm gonna tell you something. When my father used to work in wax the floors because he did the scraping and the custom stuff, but little jobs in between the big jobs, he had a regular stopover by Bonwit Teller in Midtown Manhattan.
My store.
Yeah, in the early 70s before it closed up. I think it closed up in the 80s, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a security guard in there. And they had mannequins in certain parts, female mannequins, whatever. I was a little kid running around. My father knew I wouldn't touch nothing bad, or he's in there doing it. It was only going to take like 45 minutes to get in and get out. So I'm running around. Was going to go over to the bathroom, and so they didn't have it lit up at night. They had just the basic lights where you can see where you're going, and certain areas were dark. So where the security guard was sitting, he wasn't sitting, and nobody was in it because this is at night. So he just sitting there. He knows we're in there. He let us in, let us out, no problem. But he was gone. I said, okay, in my mind, I wasn't looking for him, but maybe he went to the restroom. Some little kid walking, 8 years old or whatever, 9 years old.
I don't understand this.
And I looked down the aisle, and homeboy had his pants open, not pulled down all the way, humping on a mannequin.
I don't understand this.
So this is what they're doing now. It don't matter if it's a woman or not. They humping on plastic. They're lusting after plastic. I want to see the natural curvature of your body if I'm looking at your body and I get into that mindset. But it's got to be about the person who I like.
Right.
It's got to be their body. I don't want you to go and try to turn yourself into something else.
Right.
I can't connect with that.
Right.
You understand? So it's not, the one I was with before, she was built this way and built that way. And a lot of these young ladies are so insecure, but they look confident. And so this is why they will find a man who may treat them a little bad and be domineering over them that's way below their level, not as an Instagram model, but as a woman.
Yes.
But they're searching for womanhood in the wrong way because you would be balanced mentally, physically, spiritually. And this thing has gotten out of control. I'm not just some young geezer. Well, you mad because you ain't have nothing like that back in the day. Listen, if you saw some of the things I've been through in my life, you would know. So
exactly. Oh yeah.
You ain't gonna screw everything up until the time you're 90 years old anyway. I don't care how much Viagra you pump in your veins. I don't care if you take a rubber band and put a popsicle stick on it and stand upside down. Certain things ain't never gonna touch your belly button no more. Gravity wins every time.
All the time.
Yeah.
In the face and in the body.
Exactly.
I see it because it's like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is a beautiful picture of me right here. I won't lie about it, but every day I look in the mirror and I'm like, God, when did this fall? When did my, you see a new line? You know what I mean? And it's not about being, I'm not saying this for, for anything like that. I'm just saying it for the reality of looking in the mirror.
Your life, but I understand the looks change.
Yes.
I look at my face is dropped on certain levels. Yes. You know what I mean? People say, "Oh, well, you're for your age, you're a handsome guy," and I'm like, I'm old.
And you're trying to figure out how did it drop? You go in the mirror, you're trying to pull your hairline up just to see if you can, you can pull things back up.
But that's the beauty of getting old together. Now, everybody doesn't have that situation in their lives, right? And it's no fault of theirs. But there's a reason why we know what's right, we know what's wrong. We know what we should look. Like for me, being an older guy, older in comparison to most, because every year that goes by, most of the people are younger than me. I love when somebody says young man. I'm like, what are you, like 70-something, 80-something? Yeah, I'm a young man. I'm a young man to you. And I don't feel I have nothing to prove about my age. I actually enjoy reaching this point and putting everything into perspective and being so thankful to my creator in this universal system that I made it this far in and out of the things that I was involved with, which doesn't include crime or drugs or anything, but just the girlfriend type thing. I've been blessed. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. But because of my perspective from those days, I have no problem sharing a little bit of my perspectives. I'm not going to say I know more than you, because it's for all of us to walk our path and hopefully learn from it and hopefully get to a certain point where they can be that elder to convey something over. I'm not saying don't have whatever safe fun you think is safe fun, but don't engineer yourself to be so caught up in the visuals. And I'm going to tell you one thing. It should be alarming that we have men who will go after women who have obviously change themselves under the knife. Of course, they got the makeup going and the hair going and the outfits going, because you got to have a look. I mean, I saw hundreds of photos on Google images of her, and not two photos look alike with the clothes that she had on. So she had to spend money for those things. Now maybe she had little deals with little boutiques. Well, listen, if you wear a shirt, just give us a little play. I'll give it to you for free. You know, I can understand that, but she had to spend. She was making money, and I don't even think I'm not in her pockets. Now we're talking about Mercedes now. She may not have had as much. You got to keep the money coming in. It's not like you get a pension check for being an Instagram model. Well, after 20 years or 15 years, and because of it's not lasting long, 10 years, you get a pension check. You'll be in the rich hotels, and you'll be in a mansion and driving a Benz. No, it's going to dry up. And if you go to the channel Soft White Underbelly, which really shows a lot of tragic stories in the interviews, I would love to do that, but I'm here now, and there's not so many tragic stories on those levels, right? And you see that there's one or two prostitutes that he may have interviewed where they were smart from earlier on and got out of that thing, but they saved a lot of money. They had some foresight with it. And like, again, with these women who change themselves under the knife to obviously slap on butt, slap on breasts, and you know this, and you find yourself lusting after this, where you see the top part where the cleavage is, looks like two bowls on your chest and a flat piece of skin between it, like a cheap job like that. Or your face changed into something else, like you're a mask. It's something not natural about that you can see and feel. And you still look, ain't nothing better than being with a woman with a natural body. So what if you got a little belly? Kiss the belly too. So what if she got a little more thickness here and there, whatever have you? If she turns you on and you have good conversation and your minds connect and you just got this vibe.
So what if she have a big belly?
So what? So what? I mean, what?
Listen, I'm just.
But I'm saying, so, look. There's some Ghanaian YouTube videos that I've been watching. I'm really listening to kind of pick up the flow of the language, because I haven't started yet, but I'm going to start maybe 2-3 years now, be speaking fluid, the language here. And the women that are on those things, a lot of people laugh at them like, damn, they big. But when you really, really look at them like a black man should, you're like, that's a very attractive woman.
Right,
man,
right.
She may have all these wide hips. It's like, but what's better than snuggling up next to that? Who wants to be with somebody? They're starved. Their waistline is super tiny, which is nothing bad with that, because it is a health thing too. But how healthy is it to go and put plastic in your system and concrete in your system? Now, here's the point. Look at it this way, y'all.
Sister Miko, sorry, Lance. Miko's in the house, and you know what she always brings when she comes in here.
Look what she said. I gotta put it up there. Miko, we gotta get you on, girl. Chris Rock is some good pussy up under there.
Oh God,
you know what I mean?
That's what I always say, Miko. That's the most important thing, The thing that's supposed to work works.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that.
Where you at? You fell off? He got disconnected, guy. I bet you he hit something. I don't know what he did, but I wonder if you. Oh, you're back.
How did I hit that?
I don't know.
Not the mute button on my module.
You were supposed to say something really good. That's what it is. Oh.
I know, right? What did you hear me say last? So I can.
Nothing. Just stop back. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny though. It's still under there, y'all. But all I'm saying is that when you lust after something that you know is artificial, okay, check this out. I'm not saying me. I'm not saying any of the men here. But it's a setup. You know why? Because what's the difference? I'm not saying this. I'm just being devil's advocate. If you can be with a woman who went from A- cups to double D, anti-gravity double Ds, they just float up under the chin, and they got the back. They have that, and then you Elizabeth E. Yes, how are you? Yeah, we'll be coming for them 5 and 10 minute little snippets before the 2 weeks is up. So let me just flash a little thing on the bottom here.
Yeah.
So you'll know, because I always keep it, armed. Elizabeth, go to her channel and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.
So, nice lady, very nice, very nice, beautiful woman. Yes.
Yes. Now see, look, let's talk about Elizabeth here.
Yeah, man.
Not a bad way. Because we've met in person several times. And we're going to be doing stuff when she's here in this country, right?
And we've met outside of person.
Well, the phone lines, that's great and helpful. But I sat next to her. I've walked with her. We did videos together. And she is an extremely attractive sister.
Yes.
She might be 20 years old right now, maybe 21. But whatever the age is, she's very attractive. And she says, I put a little weight on. Look, the weight she put on ain't bad at all.
Please.
She's shaped nicely.
Yes,
she's
indeed.
very nicely shaped. And there's not a black man out there who would not like what they see. And she got personality. She got smarts. She ain't asking you for a dime.
Exactly.
Look, I'm a gentleman, right? And we know we have independent sisters out here who are not venomously. No, I had to say, listen, I'm gonna pay for this lunch here. It's an honor to do so. If you want to do me back to fine, but it's an honor to do so and to be with a lady. Oh, but she'll straighten your ass out if you cross her the wrong way. And she ain't gonna hang out with you if she detect that foolishness. Like the guy I talk about that he acts decent, but behind closed doors, when he gets you alone, he's like,
right.
Girl, you're not been checking you out, whatever. Nah. If the day comes where Elizabeth says, I don't mess with Lance Scurv no more, it won't be because of that. But I saw what she looks like. Yes. And anybody would be glad to look like her, right? So what I'm saying is that's the kind of person you connect to, just like Empress Ella G, right? Empress Ella G has been in front of me, right? And so they got the spirit, they got the essence, they got everything. And you realize that the titties and the booty is secondary because a real woman makes you feel so good before you get to the adornments. Now, here's the question I want to ask many of you. I'm not saying that I'm questioning your sexuality or that you confused, but in the plastic society that we're in right now, where you can see a piece of meat that's plastic in front of you and lust after it, what's the difference from a man who puts on titties with the hormones and a man who gets butt shots and stuff put in and puts a lipstick on and gets the hair off his face permanently removed, right? And takes off the penis. And I don't know what's going on down there, but when you see them, it's like, oh, it's that time of the month for me, but I'll do you. And so you got this big burly linebacker man who's trying to hide the masculine attributes of himself because you can't narrow down shoulders. See, so this is like a lot of these guys have to go to the man boys out in the Philippines because the Filipino man, you have a lot of them that are built slight and slender and they're transgender ready. Remember that old video recorders? It's something capable or whatever, or so ready. It had a jack in there that made it compatible with other electronics.
Right.
Well, it makes them types that way. But you lusting after plastic, you want some friction. So now we're warped to anything that looks like a woman or have something of a woman, right? They say, well, you know what? I never did this before, man, but I just want a little mouth. What? I don't care if you cut your thing off. Ain't no man spit going on my penis. I don't want to sit up and turned on some man. It ain't gonna happen, number one. And you ain't gonna fool me. See what I mean? In the past, it's like, listen, I got to check you out because you had them things going on from way back in the day. Oh, you're saying that you think I'm a man? No, I'm making sure that you ain't no man. Right. Because once you slip up and you straight and you can't, I'm not saying you can't live with yourself, but you don't want to be like, oh God, he fooled me. No. I'm making sure that it's catch up between the bread of that veggie burger and not mustard. I want catch up. Lift that bun and let me see it. Let me put my hand down there. And if it feels funny, you got to show me. I got to know. But usually, caught up in the lust thing on things that are not real, a lot of things can happen to you, and then you can cross lines that you didn't think you was going to cross. Because I've had friends of mine, no, not friends, but one in particular, he wasn't really where we hung out with each other, whatever. I had to make that clear. But one day he was on the phone with me. He's like, yeah, man. It was on his job, and he worked in a place where he dealt with a lot of people, right? Public.
Right.
This chick kept coming up to me, man, and I felt this vibe, and man, she looked good. And it was like, the big hair and whatever. And they did whatever they did, and they already probably had a naturally higher voice when you try to fool people and go higher, but you ain't gonna be no Barry White cross-dresser fooling somebody. Imagine Barry White rolled up in there. Imagine that. You're the first, you're the last. I'm a tranny. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Big Barry White, the tranny, the transgender, doing you in the bed, and you screaming out, never gonna give it up. I don't never ever want to stop the tranny ass blows me. Excuse me, put me back in.
It's the morning show, Lance.
It's the afternoon over here.
I don't care. It's the morning it's evening.
I'm already voted off for being a guest.
No. It's happy hour somewhere, right? Happy hour somewhere.
Yeah, for real. Some big and then after the fact, you gonna lay up with this thing, bro. You got 5 o'clock shadow, man. You know what I mean?
Oh Jesus.
Oh, I mean, your phone ringing now off the daggone show. I'm listening to it. This guy's going crazy.
I'm gonna go on mute for a second.
Good. You can't reel me in. Let me really go off now. No, but look, if you like plastic, you like the artificial on a woman who already, she's given up so much of a natural allure to say, well, it's just the body. So the other parts of her being, she's not working on. Maybe the one that just passed away did. I don't know. I'm not damning her because she was classified as an Instagram model, right? Because I'm quite sure there are other things in her life that she liked to do or whatever. But once you go up that road, don't even think about it on a spiritual level. Because now your goal is to get as many men to lust after you. You become a seductress with the leverage of the internet. So you have all these guys lusting, and it makes up for something that you are thirsty for. And then there'll be a lot of, like Empress G said, well, I'm doing this for myself. Then why are you walking around half naked? You know you want the attention. Don't lie to yourself. Now look, if you are a cancer survivor or had some type of thing happen to you like that, and your hair is gone, you're still beautiful. But if for you want to put a wig on or have some type of thing done with your scalp where they can kind of get it in and put the plugs in, whatever, I don't know how that works. See, but if you do that, I have no problem with it. If you had a breast removed and you want to put something that you can wear that evens things out visually, then you can do that. Now, my mother had a breast removed because she had cancer, and she never put anything anywhere, but I can tell growing up that she was conscious of that. And she wasn't a vain person because those things still mess with you.
Right.
I've known people. Right. I know a dude for 2 years. I didn't know his right leg wasn't real. And then when he told me and then turned around and took it off, I was like, no, I wasn't doing that. He's still my friend. I love him, but I'm just saying it was a shock. So sometimes it's necessary. Other times it's not. If it's driven by insecurity, then something you have to do on the inside to make sure. Like what is wrong? To me, the shortcuts don't count. I have seen women who have lost weight. Sister Miko here has never held back on that fact that she has lost weight. She showed pictures of herself. And boy, if you see her in person, her smile, her complexion, boy, don't let me go down a little lower now. I ain't lusting after your sister, but I saw it. My eyes have seen the glory.
Sister Miko.
Sister Miko. That's right. All the Venetian blinds broke when she came in the neighborhood because people were peeking out the window. Yes, they were. Baby, what you looking at? Oh, I ain't looking at nothing. You looking at old? And see, let's get the difference here. When you get these white women, yes, I want a big butt. You might be fat and only have a big butt. But we're talking about something shapely. And of course, as we progress, if we lost weight, it's not going to be as tight as it will be next year and the year after that because things get better. But why not have the natural thing? The woman who's taking care of herself on that level, whether she did or not, but I'm just saying, for those who work like that and worked out of their life, they're going to have a certain look. And it ain't going to put their health at risk. It ain't going to leak. It ain't going to drop. When it's muscle, it don't drop. Fat drops. Muscle don't. Muscle is what gives a woman her shape. This is what I know. But when you see a woman who, well, she has weight on her, what's giving her the shape is the muscle under it. So when you go for muscle as a woman, doesn't mean you just want to be a bodybuilder. All those women that you see in the magazines now these days and that stuff with the veins and they dieted down and stuff, you ain't never gonna look like that because that's steroids, but you can get strong. Look at the women who run track. Some of them might use some PEDs now. But for the most part, we all know that girl in high school or in college or in the neighborhood that ran track. And even if she didn't have the DNA attributes, her parents could have both had flat, gummy behinds. Track makes you have something. Your thighs and the power to train in the sprinting. You earn it. You get it. Like they say, you don't get good health in a pill. Well, I've been jacking up my life, or I've been smoking crack all my life, sniffing cocaine, shooting heroin, drinking alcohol for breakfast, like other people drink orange juice for breakfast. I've been doing this for the last 40 years of my life, and I feel like I'm going into poor health. What pill can I take to get good health? You can't get it like that. You have to earn it and maintain it. Right. Nobody ever got old and turned around and got young again. And again, like I said the other day, nature is your friend. It's always there for you. It's that mother that gives you the unconditional love that even when you cussed her out, when you had money to get your own apartment and you got broke 2 years later and had to come back, she let you right on in the room. And it's so good when you open the door to your own room and still see the teddy bears the way it was, still see the pictures the way you want it, and still see the same sheets and cover on there that she kept fresh. And that means you've been thinking about me the whole time. So even when we turn our back on Mother Nature and do the things to ruin our health and to ruin our beauty, it will always accept us back. Sometimes we push it too far and we can come back a little better, but we can't get it all back. Maintain yourselves naturally, eat good food, study nutrition, study basic nutrition. Me doing bodybuilding years ago, I learned a lot about nutrition that some people, I've had to tell my doctor certain things like, yo, you a doctor. How did you not know this about basic nutrition? Told me, oh, you can get your vitamins, doesn't matter the time release or not. I said, no, you're wasting it if it's not time release. Well, why would you say that? Because you get it all in one shot. If you do a little bit at a time, you'll absorb it better. When you're at the restaurant and you say, well, you know, I will want a couple of these drinks. If they bring you a couple cups, that's one thing. But they keep coming back to fill you up. That's the way time release way. If they do it like the vitamins that are not time release, they take a whole gallon of the drink you want and pour it in your 8-ounce glass, and half of it is going to end up on the table. So we have very expensive urine and feces. So make sure your stuff is time release. Make sure you earn your health over time, because there's no mystery pill that's going to make you get back. And don't think taking extra stuff is going to do for you and make you Superman. Whatever you see, when they say vitamin C is good for this and vitamin B is good for this and this and this and that, right? It's only the deficiency of it that shows those symptoms. It doesn't mean if I pop these pills all day, I'll never get something. Or if you're deficient a certain amount, saturate your tissues with it. Get your rest. Get your good food. Even if you're not training and you eat now kind of like a bodybuilder in a sense, I don't mean like stuffing down large amounts of food to get mass on you because you're on steroids. No, I'm not saying that. But if you clean up your diet, one guy who on YouTube, I will say, he has a son who's a drug monster right now, right? But he used to be a bodybuilder, kind of a top bodybuilder. And I know he used stuff. I don't know him personally, but I've been in shows watching contests that he was in. Lee Labrada from Texas. His nutritional suggestions, I would suggest You will learn a lot. It has nothing to do with bodybuilding. Balancing out. He makes it so simple. Lee Labrada, Labrada. His son's name is Hunter. If you see him, you're like, wait, how did he get like that? We all know. We all know. But what he suggests is to me perfect. As perfect as can be common sense. If I had to put out information, it would be just like him. Because I critique people when they start speaking about nutrition, and I don't know everything about it. All I'm saying, the natural way is the lasting way. All women are beautiful. Some women may not have as wider hips as the next woman. Some women may not have as large or breasts. It's not about big, it's about shapely. You can get a big Chevy, ugly pickup truck that's made for heavy work, and it may not match the lines of a Italian sports car, sleek. You see what I mean? It goes fast, but it doesn't mean that, the beauty of the lines, right?
Right.
In America, we want big, 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 big. Everything's big. Big house, big car, like Manny Fresh made that say, house real big, car real big. You know what I mean? Everything big.
Right.
So big paycheck, big this, big that. But we don't pay attention to detail. And so whether even you do get into bodybuilding, I want to say that if you have a child, a youngster that wants to get into it, watch them and let them know about the drugs. Make sure that it's a healthy insecurity and it doesn't go too far. They've got to have other parts of their life being developed. Because in that world, a youngster with the insecurities they have now, the first thing they ask when they go into a gym or shortly after, not, well, what are the exercises that I can do to develop my total body?
Right.
Or what are the foods that I can eat? What's the cycle you're on? Meaning drug cycle. And many of these gyms, they got the guys in there that will sell you stuff under the table. And these guys think that just like the Instagram model culture, that you can get a muscular body. And you can, but it ain't going to last. And you're going to damage your internal organs. I've always trained natural, always have been natural in those days when I was training. And I was around a lot of guys that were way bigger than me because example, big example. And I want to touch on this. We're talking about Instagram models, but I'm going to talk about bodybuilders for the next 3 or 4 minutes, right? Recently, in the last month, some top bodybuilders from back in my like flies. Several women who are using men's drugs. There's no male and female drug, but there's testosterone, right? And when a woman takes testosterone, her clitoris gets to a size that's way bigger and never goes down. Your voice gets deeper and never goes away.
Right.
Google or search on YouTube 2021 NPC bodybuilding championship, female, women's division, whatever. Interviews with some of the women. Well, last year when I started training and I had my coach, the coach made you take some different, and there's different drugs to cut you up, different drugs to dehydrate you.
I sent you that TikTok. I don't know if you looked at it. That TikTok.
You saw it, right?
My God.
She's enhanced.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of women who do a little something to get muscle on them that later on they feel is going to help them stay shapely. It don't work that way. With women taking steroids and testosterone and the different names for it, I'm not going to say no names out here because YouTube is big on that, mentioning drugs. And I'm not somebody to advise anybody. I don't know how to do that, but I know in concept from being around a lot of people who did. Women and testosterone is a big no-no. Men, it should be a big no-no as far as these synthetic things that they have out there. Well, if they say, well, how do you feel about hormone replacement therapy? Well, for certain men whose testosterone is down, you can do that naturally and bring them to certain levels, because to have your testosterone down low, it's going to create other things with other organs and the fatigue and all those things in the society that happens.
Right.
But that's not extreme like these bodybuilders now. You see what I mean? And it's under a doctor's care. But what I'm saying is that, they've been dropping like flies from what they did years ago. And I know a lot of guys that have done that. But Matt Mendenhall, white guy from, I think he's from Cleveland. In 1982, a week before that picture I had, I was in the NPC Nationals couples competition.
Right.
A lady named Inez Merced. There's one old funky magazine that had a picture of us. We didn't take no pictures of that show, but we got.
Why don't you drop it in the chat so they can see it?
No, I don't have it. I don't have that photo.
You don't have it?
No. I'm just saying. It's out there. I saw it. Because for a time I was in a lot of magazines you take it for granted. So now I'm going to start buying up old magazines that I was in. so I can show and prove. And it's several different photos than you've ever seen. So anyway, we got 6th place. I think we choreographed a really great routine, but them shows, I'm not going to blame the man, but the 2 and 3 over me, and they weren't better than us physique wise, but they had, they just didn't but we tore it up though. We tore it up. But when we walked from the stage and waited backstage, back in the area where they were pumping up, this was the time when Lee Haney won the Nationals. Right? He was back there. Matt Mendenhall was back there. Tim Belknap was back there, who won in 81, and he was coming back to see if he can win it again, right? Mike Christian, Bob Paris, he was there. All of these people who went on to be top guys. And I have to say, Bob Paris, everybody knew he was gay, but he never bothered nobody with that. He even got on Oprah's show with his partner, who he's not with anymore. The guy was a young, good-looking guy, right? A couple of years older than me. But when I see what he looked like now, I'm like, yo, what happened to you, man? Now, age happens to everybody, but not that kind of aging. Aging is a beautiful thing. Aging, you will look a little different than when you were younger. Yes, things will change. But if you really take good care of yourself, it's not going to be where it's so far off the mark. You'll be like, oh, they look good for their age. See what I mean? You'll always get those props because certain ages mean you're supposed to just be walking around here all tore up. And so, now the society is all built on vanity, and the younger kids that are coming up, what's going to happen with them when they're influenced by these Instagram models who is going to make them feel more inadequate? And they say, well, they did it, I'm going to do the same thing too. It'll be more easily. It's like a weapon that you can use against men to lust after you, that you can get what you want. And every time you get what you want, you think it's going to knock your low self-esteem down. But you see the next girl coming over the horizon who has a big following too, and they start talking about her. And, let me break her down. Let me see what she looked like. Oh, she got this. I got better this, and I got better that. Okay, I got to get this fixed, whatever have you. And you go for more. At what point does it stop? Are you going to be a 60-year-old Instagram model as far as the fake stuff? There will be. There's some young ladies that got gray hair. They got this not a movement that's official, but there are these black women who are all natural. They're not showing their breasts and their butt, but you can see it. They may put on a bathing suit or whatever have you, but they're beautiful. Yeah. You're like, wait a second. And youthful. And there's different degrees of that. And the youthfulness when you get older is the real sexiness because it's truly connected to life force.
Spirit, exactly. Exactly.
It's not just sexuality, but life force is the full throttle of everything you have going on. When you are healthy, okay, your life force is reduced when you have the flu. You sitting around and got the flu?
Yeah.
You ain't thinking about sex. You ain't thinking about anything. You don't even have enough energy to want to get up and go to the bathroom.
You just want
to time you get the flu, dehydrated and can't go to the bathroom that way. You're like, I ain't peeing 2 days, but I should have been going the other way. If you eat. But when you're at full strength and you're glowing and you're full of energy and you're walking upright and your cup runneth over with this life force, that's sexy without having to show anything. That in itself. There's a woman we know down in Miami, an older black woman, and she doesn't show anything, nothing. She had a full gray afro, but her face is so full of energy. Her eyes glow with energy. I know people 22 and 23 years old, women and men who are through, and it don't have to be that way. If you regenerate and eat the right things and take care of yourself, you will come back and have that youthful glow.
That's why I need to be in Ghana. I need to get out of this place. Trust and know. I need to get out of this place.
Well, look, things happen naturally and they happen gradually. Whatever we are.
I'm just saying, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's going to improve. Everything snaps right on back. I mean, everything you got will be new, fresh, and straight out the box.
For real.
Yes. See,
for real.
I ain't gonna say it in a nasty way. It'll be fresh out the box. You're like,
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's right. And you know what I mean?
I was gonna say something, but I'm not.
Go ahead.
No.
The people with the jokes. Come on.
No. Tasted like watermelon.
With a side scoop of peanut butter. Oh yeah. I have
Okay,
seen.
that's it.
Yeah, I know. No, brother Kwame, I had and I wasn't ignore you, brother. The message came in, the call came in. I was doing something. The message I didn't see it until a little while ago, but thank you for the message,
Thank you,
man. Much
Corey.
love. But yeah, no, seriously, I've seen prostitutes out here, but it's done different. Like going down around the Kwame and
Since
Ture, not in Ture. Oh God, I'm mixing up names. Maybe that's it. But down in those areas at night, it's on and popping. Not that I've driven through and I'm like, but they don't do it like the obvious. They'll just wear a little skirt, little something in that area, right? Not like back in the day in Manhattan where they're all done up and you know that's what it was. And like I said, they had it organized after a while. They kind of shut it down and harassed until they brought it inside, whatever. But the prostitutes out there was one block, and I don't want to call it wrong. It was either West 38th or 37th Street, 39th, one of them blocks. And all the women were like double D's. It's like, I called it the titty block. And it wasn't always like that. But you found men who were like, that was their fetish and that's what got them going. That street was jammed.
wow.
And see, this is the thing, I used to make jokes about that when we would drive to those areas. I say, you see that? Road courtesy, wherever you have prostitutes working on the street, is at an all-time high. Ain't no man honking. He ain't trying to rush getting up out of that block. He can be deadlocked, gridlocked. As long as he can see what he want to see, he ain't honking a horn. You giving him an excuse to enjoy the show. You see what I mean? But yeah, they do have that out here. But I will say, and it's not like the majority of our sisters out here are not on that like that. But prostitution is not relegated to one area like that. I've been walking down streets sometime that are like semi-commercial. And it might have been a woman who was going about her business. But if the opportunity came for them, they would kind of flirt with you in a certain way. And in a way where they see me as an American, so therefore I have $1 million. They probably had more than me. What I'm saying is that they would passively react to your advances. And I have seen that. Sit down somewhere just because I'll do that. I'll go to a certain little area and sit down somewhere because I'm new. It's not like, oh, don't do that. No, I got my little gadget here. We can still record our podcasts and stuff. I'm going to be doing it as long as it's a quiet area. So I don't have to sit behind the computers in the blue light all the time. But I've sat down and observed body language, observed things. And guys usually don't turn around and look at a girl's backside. It's just so much in abundance. It's like, what about somebody who grew mangoes on acres and acres of land and he goes on vacation? Does he want the exotic passion fruit juice to drink, or does he want mango juice? I'm around mangoes all the time. You know what I mean? So I want something different. So I've seen dudes here who were tourists. I remember seeing these two brothers from the UK, and they saw this woman coming down the street. And they were saying something about it. Mom, oh my God. Oh my God. Look at her. And they had to say, girl, you look so beautiful, so and so. And she was turned around and smiled and whatever. And you can tell that she wasn't dumb. She's going to try to get some money up out of these brothers. And so they were talking. I'm sitting there now. I'm sitting close by. I'm observing the whole thing. And so they're like, listen, we're at the so-and-so hotel. What you want to do? You want to come up and visit us? She knew what that meant. And she was not out there dressed like that. But maybe because of, certain people's financial situation, it's like, I don't have the guts to do that on the street in that area. But if the opportunity came my way, I'll do it. So you have women who are like that, who do things on different levels. You have men like that who take advantage of certain things on different levels. You see what I mean? So I'm just aware of these things, body language, the way people talk. And it wasn't like that's all it was.
Right.
And she got their number and she made sure to give them her number. And the way they were putting their hands on her, like it was like they didn't touch breasts, but they touching you. They're in your space. And they touch your neck. It was just, damn, girl, turn around. Let me see. Oh my God. It was just I wish you could lift that skirt up a little more, show me more legs. She did so. Like, what? And that's not how Ghanaian women move generally.
Right.
Not like that generally. From what I've seen, you have to even go the extra mile to let them know that you do find them appealing in certain ways. And they're usually very shy about that. Remember, the whole religious thing has put a damper on open expression. But it's nice to see that when a woman is built so nice that she's humble with it. You know, there's brothers that I see sometimes come from America and the UK. They, God, dog, yo, man. I heard one guy the other day when I was down at Medina Market. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to another brother, right? Man, if I was born down here, man, and they had child support here, I would have just said, hey, I would have been locked up from 18.
Take my whole checks. Take everything.
I wanted to tell him that would be bad because you'd be locked up, and what will you get then? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the whole lust factor, the whole plastic thing going on, plastic bottles, plastic dildos, plastic cards for money. There's no bartering anymore. There's no true attraction. You're looking at the woman's adornments. This is no different than stroking yourself to a porno magazine or a porn movie. It's no connection. It's only one thing concentrated. When you're getting nutrition, you need the full thing. Sex is just not a sex thing. Don't you know that when you lay in the bed with a woman, I'm only saying that because I'm a man. I'm not going to say, don't you know when you lay in the bed with a man? I don't know nothing about that, and I don't want to know nothing about that, right? All I'm saying is that when you lay in the bed with a woman, don't you know that let's just say it the romantic way, your heartbeat begins to match. When you think that, not only that, if you took the worst harlot beyond the Instagram model, I'm not calling them all that. If you took a harlot who was just a hardcore, listen, I don't want to be with you, just give me the money and I'll give you whatever you want. Raw, anybody. You keep screwing around with them and you keep them from doing what they usually do, and it's just you and her. The whole planet, the people just left, it's just you and her. So this is your woman now, man. You know what I mean? If you didn't like what she did and you laying in the bed with her, you breathing in her farts at night and she breathing in yours. That's what happens now. Oh, she's so cute. If you love the woman, until something happened, like get out of my bed. Oh, nasty, stinking. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. But your internal organs begin to synchronize. If she's not taking care of her health, or you're not taking care of your health, and your body is imbalanced, and your liver or your kidneys are strained, you swapping spit, drinking crotch sauce and tasting them and everything, don't you? And being close to them and around them, you begin having sex with them, having orgasms with them, coming inside of them, drinking up their juice. No, I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just saying this is intimacy on whatever level you. I have to say it this way. You don't come here to hear me just or the story. I'm not going to make you use your imagination in that case. I want to make you understand that you can bring down your vibration if you're with somebody who's not on a higher vibration or striving to go higher.
That's true.
Striving to go higher. This is why when you are with, I'm not saying we're sleeping around, but look, unless you've been with one person, that's the only, but if you've noticed that when you get intimate with someone new, you could have been talking to them for 6 months and a year, 2 weeks, whatever. And this is something that's going to be ongoing, but even if it's not, but a couple of times, the first time, why is it that you feel a drain on you? It wasn't just an orgasm. It's like, I feel something's on me. It's their spiritual, it's their mental, it's their physical blending with you in unseen ways. If they're a sarcastic personality, and you're not around them, but you go back on your job after being with them for 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month, 6 months, so they don't see
you start acting sarcastic. Yes.
You know, now you're the kind, loving person, but now that rubs off on you, and you see your friend, boy, you got fat. What's going on? You're hanging out with pigs. You never said that before, but you begin to take on and blend with the characteristics. Now, if you're close to what they are, you won't see the difference. But if you're further away from what they are, you'll notice a difference, and they will notice. If you're a kind person with a lot of sympathy and good feeling toward other people, it would tamper down that other stuff on them too. It can be a broad thing. So if you're sleeping with somebody who's addicted to drugs, addicted to porn, addicted to gossip, or they're just off, sexuality will bring that into your life, whether you know it or not. You may be bringing in sickness to your body. That show up for 20 years.
True.
You drinking this fluid out of the woman, which ain't nothing wrong with if it's the one you want to be with or the one you have, and you're not all over the place. But what I'm saying, not to be nasty, but it's the truth. Most of us in here do that. Most of the women in here, when you're with somebody who you really want to be with, I'm not saying you blowing everybody, but you do that. Even if you don't spit or swallow, whichever way, you still doing it, still going in there. Don't you think that these are look, this is a person who has been with their body for decades, if you lived in this life for a long time.
Right.
And so their DNA, the chemicals, the natural chemicals of the body, their sweat over time. It ain't like, well, just throw your sweat in the bucket and let me drink it. No, but you kissing them. You don't pull away. You kiss them in their mouth, which is even really and truly, I'm not saying it's nasty, but it's nastier than what you think the anus is. The anus is cleaner than a daggone mouth.
I can't wrap my head around that.
It's the truth.
I cannot wrap my head around that.
No, well, I'm just saying if you're clean back there too now.
I can still not wrap my head around.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. You stand to get more germs and infection from kissing somebody in the mouth. The mouth is the dirtiest part of the body. Anybody talk to a doctor and tell me I'm not.
I know they say that. I know that. But
oh yes, well look, I went to a pool cleaning class to get some pool cleaning certification. It was going to be one of my side hustles until I said, well, we're leaving now, so it don't matter. Certification don't matter. We paid some money for that bad boy. And I think it was like 3 days that we went there. And the woman who was an instructor, one of the instructors, she informed us, she said, listen, we're going to talk very frank here. She had a crazy personality, but she said, don't you know that with the pool, you have to keep clean? Not just because people urinate in there and they sweat in there and, maybe that time of the month and things don't leak out, but something's leaking out because we're up in there, right? So you have all these things going on. So you have to make sure to keep it clean and, just the filters, the different things, just constantly keep it clean, even though you have to physically go in there and clean.
Right.
She said, no person in their right mind would go take a dump. Now she's been doing this for many years before she was an instructor, so she knows it in and out. But she said, I have cleaned pools when I was just cleaning pools, and people have taken dumps in the pool and left it.
My God.
Yes, she said she saw that several times. And the people are inconsiderate. They sitting there, they might be like at some resort and the pool is not just a round or a rectangular pool. It might curve around a little bit and there's some palm trees hanging over and there's a couple over there, kind of kissing, nothing nasty or whatever, just hugged up, every now and then, I love you, baby, type shit, right? And here comes a piece of something floating like a shark.
God.
Big piece of log or something, and you hear the music from Jaws. Doom, 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 doom. It ain't no Jaws, but what she meant to say and why I'm bringing this up is that she said the average amount of feces that most people carry in their anus is a gram. That's a whole lot. You ever see
gram?
A gram, yeah. Unless you go up in there and whatever, but no, whatever. Yeah. And this nasty dude in there, man, he just told himself how nasty he was. He said, yeah, I could believe that, man, because, and a big fat dude, too. I mean, big and fat.
No, lads.
She knows what's coming.
No, lads.
No, it's not. It's funny because he said, yeah, man, because sometimes, I'm a big dude. I know that, man. And I eat all kind of shit. So, sometimes I'm sweating on a hot summer day, man. I just get the urge to wipe, go on the bathroom back there, wipe and clean my hand. And even when I don't go, just go on back there to wipe. Man, I go back there and wipe, man. I got a toilet paper full of stuff.
No.
Like, he said, I'll go wipe my back, my lower back, there's stuff on there too. I'm saying, God, what kind of thing you got going to shoot shit up your backside? Outside, all in your lower back. And then people like that. Say, yeah, I can believe that. And everybody looking at him like, that's too much information.
Gosh.
I ain't using the bathroom after you. And not to get on that topic, but these poor young ladies, older women, whatever. You got a big bubba like that who got about 5 grams of stuff all floating around up under his balls, and he wants you to go down there. What you think you smelling? Let's get off of that. I know you ain't gonna eat for the next 3 days, right? But I'm just saying.
And I haven't eaten anything yet this morning. Oh my
morning show. How did I get
God. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
for
don't
real?
know.
Yeah, yeah, a gram. And that, and she
Well,
was talking about
he had half a pound. He didn't have a
what? We had a
gram.
quarter pounder, right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I know that from driving the bus. I know that from working in the jail. Guys walk up to you, man, and they just not, they just that's something though. How it's gonna get like that? That means you just neglecting, and you want some woman to go down there and what? I couldn't do it. If I was like that, I couldn't do it. I don't want her thinking that about me. And no, I got to be clean. Like I said on other shows, I've got to be clean. When I was a young man, younger,
you can be all the clean you want to be.
yeah, no, I was, and I'm not saying I am clean. I have an adult term that I use that I send other shows. It's not really a curse, but really, and the fellas will understand this. I kept myself blowjob ready. Wasn't no woman back in that day when I was out there and doing stripping and bodybuilding was going, come here, baby, let me just make you feel good. And I'm sitting there, oh man, I'm stinking. No, I can't do it. No, I didn't want to miss out on that. I'll tell my secrets. I was a teenager too one time. I was in my early 20s at one time. Nah, man, I kept myself clean. I had what I used to call, and I wasn't in a hole. I just didn't know how to say no. That rhymes, doesn't it? Right? And I kept a small bag on me. That was my hooker bag, meaning that I was keeping myself clean. A little bit of the airport size. When you go you're going overnight and you want those little bottles and you keep them so you can refill them so that they go buy that stuff again. Because when you go to the drugstore and buy that stuff, it's like so expensive.
Right.
What are you $10 for this little thing of Listerine? You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm like the coupon lady when it comes to saving on stuff like that. And I said that, but it wasn't just about that, y'all. It wasn't like people walk, hey, how you doing, Lance? How you doing, honey? You got 5 minutes? Can I give you some head? No, it wasn't. I didn't live like that. I mean, things happen, but it wasn't like that. But I was just so conscious. I didn't want my blood thinking. I didn't want to not feel clean. I love the feeling of being clean. Now, I can understand the sweaty thing in Florida or in the motherland or whatever have you. I'm still clean, even if I'm sweaty after I wash. Ain't nobody going to come to you and tell me, damn, Lance Scurvy a cool guy. But I was smelling doo-doo, man. When I must have been him. No, you ain't going to say no. I'm
that
very
not gonna work.
No.
That can't work.
Because not the whole bag. Hooker bag, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Some of the brothers need to carry a little hooker bag. They may be faithful, don't mean they're a hooker. It doesn't mean you're out there. I said that for effect. And then when I would carry that, look, I'm married now and will carry a whole bag because it's not about, I'm gonna run into somebody out there and do. No, it's about keeping myself clean.
Exactly.
Keeping myself clean and feeling, that's what it is. I have standards.
Women should always keep a pack of wipes with them.
Right.
And a water bottle if you can.
Right.
You can't find a bidet, spray that water bottle.
Right, exactly. I don't even like to get on camera if I don't shave for that day.
Right.
I feel dirty. And there have been times like when I was coming out of the store, the mall, and the two guys walked up on me and said, hey, Lance Scurvy, we know you. We just got to play this. It'd be nice if we run into you. I didn't shave at that point. But I wasn't stinking. I wasn't not clean. I didn't just step out the shower. Didn't take one yet.
Right.
But I was not offensive. And, I had the camera on me. I kept it off because I just feel like I got to be,
Well, most people, unless you just happen to have some imbalance in your system, most people are not going to smell offensive after just one day. I mean, you said you could smell sweaty, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, if you keep yourself clean,
Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, let's be real. You're not gonna be that offensive where you're gonna walk past somebody and they're gonna go, God, dog.
There are some like that though. There's some like that.
But that's what I'm saying. There has to be some imbalance in your system that creates that,
I know a poor guy that every time, he would just get right out of the shower and he was straight stinking. It just wouldn't go away. His arms, everything was just in the system.
Well, that means that he needs a washout. He
Yeah,
needs a good detox.
He's a skinny little guy too.
Yeah.
Let me cut this fan down for a second. Keep talking because it's bringing me too much background noise.
You must keep talking. This is not my topic.
This is your show?
It's not my topic.
This is the Rising Show with Empress Ella G. I'm just a bucket boy on this one. You might do the most talking, right? Here, let me just cut that off real quick. Cut it down.
Hurry up.
Oh, I will.
Oh my God, this is so not my topic. But as he, just to keep going on what he was saying, if you don't have a system imbalance, if you are fairly clean on the inside, you're going to be relatively clean on the outside. You take a shower. I'm not telling anybody not to shower every day, not to wash yourself. But, let's be real. There have been times when you get caught up doing things and you may not shower early in the morning and, it was early the next morning, that you took your shower or whatever. You should not smell. Your armpit shouldn't smell. Your private parts should not smell, offensively smell. Yeah, you're going to have an odor, but that's normal. But you shouldn't be offensive. When you start to be offensive, you have a problem. You need to really look into, your normal everyday hygiene, because, if you are not keeping yourself clean on a daily basis, after a while, especially if you have body hairs, that odor is going to stay in your body hair, and it's going to be so difficult to clean it off, to get it clean. So we have to be keeping ourselves clean to begin with, so that if there is a day off, so to speak, you're not offensive. And you should be the first person to smell yourself. But but some people get so used to their offensive odor that they don't smell themselves.
Mm-hmm.
As far as they're concerned, they smell good. Oh, you came back, Sir Lance.
Oh, yeah. I realized it's pouring down. That was a noise I heard because I had one of the windows on the side, slid back a little bit, and the ceiling fan's on, so it, brings a cross breeze.
Right.
And I'm
right.
It's pouring down, raining outside. Didn't even realize.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But you're talking about different types of funk. You have different types of funk. You got that. You got that funk that emanates from you evenly and it goes out like a circle. Then you got that horizontal funk that you standing there and it don't go up, it don't go down, it just goes straight across the room. And people sitting around in the room, in the big room, you could be the motor vehicle, the tag place, and they way over there like, God, dog. And you sitting there. I know a dude, a really big fat dude, right? I'm not knocking anybody who has extra weight. I'm just saying because it really was bad, right? You remember those big fans? I'm talking about big, like 4 and 5 feet across. Them had the big stand, big industrial fans they used in the place like a tag place before they would put AC back in the day, like in the 70s. And this thing is turning. Right. I mean, strong. And it was old, and you couldn't lift it. You couldn't even lift it off the base. You had to lean it and roll it. You have somebody bring it in. I'm bringing the other fan. They didn't lift it. They had to roll it on the base, right? And spin it around. This dude stood in front of this fan with a colon that was filled with putrefied meat. There was all kind of stuff going on, and he didn't realize it, but he farted.
Oh my God.
All over. I mean, it was a concentrated situation. See, when I get to the points on the show, her phone always rings. You still talking to that nutcase? I'm telling you, get off. He's bad for you. He's in a bad way. This guy farted, just went on. And some people, there's always that white man. Oh, goddamn. Oh, it stinks. What's going on here? Somebody needs to clean their colon.
Oh God!
Black folks be like, and look at each other. But there's one guy, and he's the furthest away. How God? Like some Vietnam vet that can't tell me anything. You know what I mean? He's got all the buttons.
Oh my God!
In his coat. The veterans this, veterans that. How goddamn? Oh God! He didn't say God. He's so white. You know what he says? He don't say God. Oh Gad. G-A-D. Gad. His face gets into funk mode until he's 10 minutes away from smelling funk. His face got that.
Oh my gosh.
Nerve. Inconsiderate. And it won't cuss you out or cuss the person out. You know who it is? He just says one word, like one word curse. Not even curse. Inconsiderate. Smile. Nasty. And you don't care. Look in your right eye.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it. I defended this country. I can say what I want. Even when I was in the swamps of Vietnam, I didn't smell like that after not washing for 9 days.
That's true. That's true. That's all internal. That's all. That's all internal.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the topic changed, evolved. We talked about it, and we just evolved because we're going to wrap it down soon. And
we are. I thought this was my show. How are you going to tell me I'm wrapping it down?
I was going to wrap down my part, but I can't leave until you tell me to do so. You know what I mean? In house arrest with you, but it's not an arrest. I want to be here. It's not. See, it's so pleasurable to have the conversations and do these things that if you said, well, you're in the house arrest, you got to stay for another hour. I'm like, okay, I'm loving it. It's almost like a flaming gay promiscuous dude getting sentenced to 20 years in prison. You're not hurting me at all. You know what I mean?
I might hurt you, but I'm not hurting you.
Exactly. You gotta do something real drastic to see the smart judges. They'll be like, solitary confinement, not around any men at all. You know. Then they'll be mad.
Let me see. No, I deleted somebody, but I'm just going back and seeing.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Saw some.
You can do what you need to do. This is the Empress Elegy Show.
This is the Empress Elegy Show. God damn it! Let me stop it. Don't make me take off this pretty mask, brother.
Oh, I know. Empress Elegy, bold, raw, and uncut, as you've never seen her before. You know what I mean? For my money. But yeah.
Oh God, let me stop.
Life. But going back to the whole thing about the Instagram models, we said different angles of it. I know as soon as we get off this show, it's gonna be like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. It's always that way.
Yes.
It's always that way, and we will touch on things that overlap, not just Instagram models, but the common things that many young ladies feel who are growing up in this society, and they're influenced, and they feel that, wow, we see this woman getting attention because of her butt and because of whatever that's artificial. Well, I need to get that, but that doesn't last long in the long run. It doesn't cure you of whatever insecurities you're feeling. You got to get raw deep into the bone. Commit to going to the gym. Commit to eating healthy. A lot of these women, when they get older, they're going to be a hot mess. I mean, with this fake stuff, they're not going to age naturally. Even if you age naturally and put on weight, and you might not be in the shape that you were in when you were young, that's a natural thing.
Right.
And even that could be reversed to a degree. You know what I mean? So don't get into that, young ladies. Deal with what's in your head. Deal with what issues you may have had growing up. Not to throw off on you. Men have it too. Men do things too. I mean, men pop the Viagra and get the penile implants and all this stuff. You know how many young men are worried that they can't last 4 hours inside of a woman? Come on, y'all.
4 hours?
Yeah. I growing up, I've had friends, I tore it up last night. I was up in it 4 hours. No, look, if you
doing what? Doing what?
Intercourse.
Doing what?
That's what I'm trying to say. It must not have been good. And if it ain't that good, why do you want to stay up in there 4 hours? I love certain restaurants. I'm not staying up in there 4 hours unless I'm talking with you or whatever, take a nice slow, but by myself, I'm eating and I'm out.
That's it.
Restaurant 4 hours. Well, you were waiting that long or what?
Then if I'm that restaurant, you better eat and leave.
But yeah, you're right. You're right, wacky world. Look at Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
She did that white woman stuff, and it ain't gonna work on you and your black woman because you're gonna have so much beauty natural. Little Kim was fine before she started doing this.
Yeah. She was very beautiful.
Yeah, she went from a full-fledged black woman to an Asian lady, an aging Asian lady. I mean, I mean, if you see, I saw her. She came down to one of the clubs that I bounced in Orlando back in the day when I was in corrections, and you know, it wasn't as bad, but it was bad back then. I was like, it doesn't even look like her.
Right.
I don't even know what she looks like. What does she look like naturally at this particular date and time? What does she look like for real under all of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would be curious. I'm looking at this master. I can never go back to being me. I know my face. When I eat a little extra or eat late or eat more calories than I should, my face, so my head blow up quick. I get 2 weeks on eating a little late, like, I need to, like right now, I need to pull back. Been eating more, all this stuff, sleeping, eating late and all this stuff. So like I said, last night, I got to bed at midnight. That's early for me, but it's okay.
Let me ask you this question. This question. Honest answer.
Yeah, it's always an honest. You know that.
Did you go to bed like put everything away and go to bed at 11 o'clock, at 12 o'clock midnight, or did you lay down in the bed at 12 o'clock?
I laid down and we sent some text messages with each other and I fell out. I don't think I answered you.
I don't know. I think you did.
No, because I was out. I kept track of the time and I laid there because I felt this pull of a fatigue all day. Like, you know, we've been pushing a lot on so many different levels.
Yes.
And for the longest time, you know, it got so bad that I was on the Trocho van. This is months ago. And I would start falling asleep even in the daytime. And I'd go there and stay up till like 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. How about the time I stayed up all night and did a 12 o'clock show? All night. True. Didn't sleep. And go out and do things and come back in and nap for 3 hours and get up. Like, I said, I have to stop this. You know, so I only got 7 hours. I want to get 8 hours. I only got 7 hours. And after 7 hours, I woke up and I was wide awake. I still laid there a little bit. But when I got into bed last night, I fell out. And I have a lot of accumulated fatigue because, like I said, my enthusiasm for life is so high. Sometimes I don't even want to sleep.
Right.
I'm not looking for applause for that. And I do work hard, but I can get just as much done if I balance up now that I've perfected certain aspects of my life and relocated certain aspects of my life. And, you know, it's going to get better. It's going to be more intense. But for me, especially when those, the dark months of the beginning of the year, as far as YouTube, how hard they were on me, how hard, and they were doing everything they possibly, they're still doing things now, like you can see. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're moving subscribers. We're getting more, but they're removing. How do you gain negative 231 subscribers?
I don't know.
It's on the graph.
I don't know. I see it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is, right? You've lost so much that whatever you gained, you're still at a negative.
Right. Exactly. You know? And then we do shows every day, several times. Right. But yeah, it doesn't bother me because I'm not stopped because this is going to undergird so many different things.
Right.
Well, my thing is getting to the people. It's not a matter of what YouTube says I have, because I know it's way more than that. Who knows? You know, we might already be at 1 million subscribers. All the years I've been doing it. You know what I mean? So I don't compare that way. I'm not like the woman who sees the Instagram models and think I need to get surgery on my butt too. You know what I mean?
But you know, when you decide to go to bed early, it's good for me.
Right.
Because, you know, I go to bed early. You know what I mean? Because we do the show, we talk and plan and scheme and stuff like that. But I'm still here available. We'll just have our waking hours pretty similar or the same, which you're gonna have to sleep a little later because you're 4 hours behind me. Right.
I might see that time from when I wake up until we do the morning show, I can get so much done.
Right.
Otherwise, last week and the week before that, I wake up 10 minutes before the show.
I know.
You'll call me, which is a monumental feat in itself because you're 4 hours behind me. And you still call me up. I'm like, yeah, I'm up. Then one time I went right back to sleep. Lucky the show was made and everything like that. See, this
in
time,
advance,
this morning I had time to get that Mrs. Scurv piece that I'm gonna put out later on in the afternoon. Which may be 12 noon or something like that, but it'll be 4 over here, 5 over here, whichever. And then I have Lazia's footage that I have to put up. All I did was make a little unique banner for. I could put it up now, but it has no banners. I don't want to use any ones. I want to put her stuff on there instead of mine. I might put my little logo on there, and then that one's only like 5 or 6 minutes. But it's very interesting because we're outside and you get to see some comical stuff. And we'll be doing more stuff like that. And even with Elizabeth, when she's here in Ghana, we do a little show, a little split screen thing, whatever. There'll be, Mr.
Yeah, that's
Political,
gonna be nice.
everybody, because he usually does something on Monday, but he had to handle and help somebody out in court.
Oh, okay.
The child support stuff. So he does that to help certain people. So,
Right.
So he said, brother, tell everybody that I'm in court, and I don't mind because the one over there standing over there, the court officer's fine as something. I might not be able to do what I used to do before when I was younger, but I may not eat all the food in the restaurant, but I can damn sure look at the menu. I'm like, oh man, he's looking the court. But I'm going to charm
He's a mess. He's a mess. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, so
but you're
where
right,
do we go from here?
You're right. And we're gonna wrap it up, but I just want to say that the details of the case will come out. We never in the show knocked her for being an Instagram model or the OnlyFans and having that stuff. I don't know what she did in her personal life, and if you listen to the show, you'll see that we spoke about certain Instagram models and the effect that they have on the psyche of women coming up, what the society has become. But I used her story to speak about it and how sad it is, but I used it to segue into the whole Instagram model culture, which again, I don't know how severe she was with it. I heard she was a sweetheart and everybody loved her and she was a really nice person. So to end that up, and you're going to have the final word, I just want to say, you may hear something that I spoke earlier on in the show that they're classifying it as a murder suicide, but that might change as they do more in the investigation. So I will have people in the chat room, not the chat room, but the comment section. You reported it wrong. No, I got everything up to this point that they have out there officially, which may change. So folks, sort of to put the date on the left-hand side, this is August 31st. So if you come to me September 3rd, let's look at the date that we put this out. That's all we had. But I don't wish anything bad on anybody. I don't smear anybody. We all have a journey in life. We all have things we do and we don't do. All I say is that, we all have this journey, live it the best way we can, affect the people as much as we can in a positive fashion. And we all have things, toxicities that we're trying to rid ourselves of in this life. It doesn't mean we're a bad person. Whether I spoke on the insecurities of some of these young ladies or the lust factor from certain men, hopefully we can get over the things that bring us into a bad energy before we transition. But I heard she was a sweetheart. I didn't know her, and I'll take it at that. But she seemed to be a very sweet person.
She appears to be a sweetheart. Even when you go on IG and you look at her profile pictures, you see a sweet spirit, coming through on definitely. Her. You know what I mean? And it's a sad and unfortunate situation. And what's even more sad is that in this time, in this day and age that we're living in, young girls and some older women that are doing these OnlyFans pages. I mean, it's sad that the only way they feel like they can make money, or they can make the kind of money that they want to make to live the lifestyle they want to live, is by doing these lewd, acts on social media. You know what I mean? That is very sad because, I realize that nobody wants to work for the man anymore, and nobody wants to get into the matrix and do a 9 to 5 or whatever. But this cannot be your only option. This is fast money and this is dangerous money. You know what I mean? I mean, any of this lifestyle where you are basically selling your body so you can have the latest Louis Vuitton purse, pocketbook, Coach shoes, Coach earrings. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to quote unquote work hard for anything, and this is not working smart. I don't have the solution or the answer right now, but all I'm saying is when you look at what they're doing, they're, in my eyes, they're demeaning themselves. they have no self-esteem. They may want to act like they have self-esteem, but you cannot have a high level of self-esteem and putting yourself out there for the world to see on a daily basis. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
No, but I agree with that, and
You
just
know,
think that it may not be always where they didn't have their father in their life. Maybe she had her father in her life, but I'm
right,
going to say that maybe with the majority, which may be 51%, over 50 or 99%, whatever it may be, how
mm-hmm.
many of these women who were affected by their father not being in their life, and hugs and love and time
Right,
spent
right,
would have made a difference.
right, right,
Those who were affected that way. I'm not saying all of them were affected that way. It might have been where their mother wasn't around. It might have been
right.
where they were the plain Jane and wanted the attention, and still you added on. Maybe they're beautiful as anything else, and the father, the mother said that they weren't. You have a lot of mothers out here who
Mm-hmm.
don't like the daughters because they figure I had a hard life, and you're going to have it easier. So I'm going to make sure that you kept in check. You're not all of that. You're not. How can you tell your own flesh and blood that anyway? You know what I mean?
True,
To encourage. So
true,
there's a
true.
lot of factors where it's not just, oh, for me, it was this one thing, and for me, this other one's the other. It could be a combination, a very intricate, a tangled ball of yarn that's complicated, handed to you at a young age for you to figure out of all these other things that came from the prior generations of your family that's dumped on you. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
they're looking to fulfill. They're looking to fill these voids that are empty, and it may not be
Right,
one type of void. You
right,
know,
right.
because of that, you see this extreme visual, and you have that with people in bodybuilding, male and female, or whatever it may be. Even people who are not into the flesh game, who, because
Mm-hmm.
of some pain in their life, they had to prove to themselves that they were worthy and they worked hard on something, but at least those people worked hard on maybe something legitimate. I'm not
Right.
saying that this is not, I can't say it's a legitimate business because it's destroyed so many people's lives because maybe she didn't do drugs or the heavy alcohol. But what happens when you see yourself fading and you invested so much in the body that's going to go out there and wow the men and get money out of their pocket? Now you see older ages coming on you, things start to droop. You're not like the one
Right,
that was
right,
now 18,
right.
19 coming out and they're running to her now because her stuff is not as worn down. What happens then?
Exactly,
You take a little more
exactly.
drink, you do a little more drugs,
Mm-hmm.
you get an addiction or a habit. Now you're not getting the calls to be in the luxury hotels and the drive with the celebrities, whatever. And again, what they
Mm-hmm.
portray, they have to portray this. I've seen women who they do the OnlyFans and do the whole Instagram thing, and they living in the hood broke, and they struggling to save the money up. They don't get the money opportunities, no matter how illicit it is. There's some. What you mean? Give me $20? Are you crazy? They all want to be on the top level. Where it's got
Yeah,
to be $1,000. These
yeah.
brothers are trying to get the most out of the least. They'll
Right.
look at you and go mess with the big, fat, smelly one that don't take care of itself just to get off and feel some friction. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? They'll masturbate to your pictures. They ain't gonna give you no
Excuse
money.
me. Oh.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a tragic circle. You're not going to be fulfilled with this. It may look larger than life. When you have these cartoons, the hips and the illustrations, we've become cartoons. Why? I
That's
know a lot
right.
of brothers in bodybuilding who have done great with bodybuilding, and they only did it because they had some of the same voids, and
Mm-hmm.
they've killed themselves. Overuse
Mm-hmm.
of steroids over time.
Mm-hmm.
They get a few years older and they're dead. They're dropping like flies. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
this because of what is the real
Yeah, they
reason?
wore down their organs. They've worn down their
Exactly.
heart, their liver,
Exactly.
their
Exactly.
spleen, all of those vital organs that we take for granted, spleen and appendix and these things that they tell you have no use, they have a function.
Of course
They
they
just
do.
they just won't tell you what the hell the function is, but they all have a function. And when they're not there, or when we're not eating right, or when certain things just, go awry in your body, when they take it over time, you will recognize that it did have a function because you're lacking in something going forward, you know. But anyways,
Yes.
we had a great turnout this morning.
Yes, I love it.
I love it. Yes,
Monday through
yes,
Friday, 8 a.m.
yes,
East Coast time, Eastern Standard
yes.
Time, 8 a.m.,
Set
5 days.
your clock to that, folks, and barring any unforeseen, unavoidable situation that is beyond our control, we will be here.
Exactly, exactly.
That's what my
Well,
mother says here. We will be here.
well, Empress
Sometimes I
Celestine,
wonder where she come from.
right, right. It's not just the accent thing; it's how we twist the words
It's how
around.
we
So,
twist the words
exactly,
around. Yes, her little British and Jamaican accent put together, you know. But
exactly.
anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you all. Synovia, sis, don't forget to send me the email so I can send it off. Um, everyone else, have a wonderful day. Make it a good day. Brother Lance,
I'm
thank
here.
you so
I have the
much.
volume up. I'm sorry. I did to slide it down. But
Uh,
yes, so always an
mm,
honor and pleasure to be here with my sisters and brothers and
yes.
talk about life in a very real way.
Yes.
It's all about the morals. It's all about the standard of living. We've all had a
Yes.
path. We've all had a life before. We've all made decisions that we may not be proud of, but it doesn't make us bad people.
Right.
We can always improve. Like nature will help us to heal on so many levels. If we aid nature and bring ourselves to nature, like they say, meet me halfway and I'll bring you home, it'll always have us healing back. So we may live in a
Yes.
society that can be looked at as toxic, but if we detoxify ourselves and clean up ourselves and encourage others to do the same, we can raise the vibration of the world and make it a better place to live. And that's for real. And don't let nobody make you think anything different. You can clean up and do better
Exactly.
and live the life that you're supposed to live.
Exactly. Kwame, if it's the one you sent recently, a few days ago, he received it. Yeah, he got it. Okay,
Yes, I
guys.
in the show earlier. Maybe he didn't hear me, but I thanked him
Yeah.
for email and everything. And
Yes, indeed. It was
so,
beautiful.
yes,
Yes. Thank you, Brother Lance. Have a wonderful day.
always, always. It's
And
always really nice being a guest on your show.
thank you so much. You have a spot anytime you want, every day, all day, every day.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All
You're
right.
welcome. Take
Okay.
care.
All right.
Alrighty.
Peace. Mhm.